with Forex traders, weekly Forex market analysis of the Australian dollar against the United States dollar. In this video, we share with you a weekly Forex market analysis of the Australian dollar US dollar for the coming week. We also share with you a fundamental analysis of the Australian dollar US dollar and a top-down analysis and breakdown of the Australian dollar with US dollar, and then a Forex trading strategy for trading Australian dollar US dollar for the coming week. We hope you love to stick around. Meanwhile, comment below your favorite trading pair as we dive into the charts. Here we are on the Australian dollar US dollar, that's the AUD, and the weekly chart. So from the fundamental perspective, guys, we've recently had last week we've had the trade balance report from the Australian economy, and it shows very much that the trade balance itself, like the report, weren't that impressive, as the numbers released was lower than the expected numbers, and actually lower than the previous two as well. So with that in mind, we're actually considering that the Australian dollar US dollar will be bearish because of the outcome of that report. So for next week, we'll be looking at some other high impact and medium impact news that may likely affect the Australian dollar US dollar market, like the employment or unemployment rate report coming from the Australian dollar and the Australian economy, right? And then we have the CPI too, that's the consumer price index from the United States, and we'll be seeing other fundamentals like retail sales MOM from the US economy and thereon. So we believe that this news, these reports will validate our analysis. So let's look at the technical aspect of the chart, guys. Okay, so technically, guys, the Australian dollar US dollar. So from the weekly chart, you can see that from this point here, from 1st December, right, 2021, the price actually made a double bottom. It went up to our resistance level here, it came back and formed a double bottom, and we saw a price increase, right? So the price has been quite bullish from about okay, let's say January 2022, right, up to this very point. So we have that the price has quite been bullish after a double bottom formation, right? A double bottom formation. Okay, so let's see what we have from the previous present price action. So what we see here is the same thing too. That price has been very much bullish, forming okay, price has been very much bullish, forming higher highs and higher lows. So the price formed a higher high, higher low, quite higher high here, higher low, higher high, higher low. But at this point here, what we saw was a massive rally to the upside. So this massive rally led to AUD being very much overbought. So at this point here, from this day, which was on the 5th, remember, which was on the 5th here of on the 5th of April, the price then met a resistance at this point, and then we saw what can be seen as a shooting star, and then the next day a price drop, a massive price drop. So we confirm here a shooting star and then a massive price drop. And then from this point here, guys, we can highlight this area here as our supply zone, right? As our supply zone, because first of all, right, the price actually met some kind of resistance at this point. The price resisted this area for some time, resisted here, resistance at this point, and then the break, to the upside, no cross, and then you can see the price coming back into the zone. So this is what we can assume, guys, that the price actually met that this area can be seen as our supply zone, right? Okay, so with this in mind, guys, let's see what we have on lower time frame now. What will validate this move? Because we're expecting this move to actually guide this price in a supply zone. We're expecting that this price will actually fall to at least our resistance, dynamic resistance and support level here, denoted by a moving average. And when that happens, guys, we may be considering actually going long on this pair again back into the zone, and then see for price action patterns that may further validate the price coming down, and we may be looking at going long, or maybe just letting the price actually reach this level again and maybe see potential selling opportunities here till we finally get, you know, to the downside. Now, if you also look from this area too, guys, you also look from this area, you also look from this area, from the outer part of the trend, right? Euro USD has quite been in a bearish trend, right? From the outer part, right? So we can see here a level here, and then you can see here a lower high, right? A lower high, right? A lower high, and then this kind of move here, right? So if we're to use the trend line, which I don't really like to use, we can you can see some kind of moves like this, right? Right? So we have this trend, and we also have this trend here. So you can see that this price may likely come this way and perhaps bounce, to this area. But let me remove this, as this is actually not what I like to use on the chart. Okay. So we've seen some fundamental trends that may give us some kind of bias that the ODSD may likely be bearish. And then from the technical aspect, we've also seen that we're actually trading from a supply zone, right, from the daily chart, from the daily time frame, guys. Okay, so let's see what we have on the 4-hour too. Okay, on the 4-hour chart, you can see that the price too has quite, reacted very nicely to this point, right? Nicely on the 4-hour, and the price has been seeing some bearish moves. However, I think I was on this trade shortly, I think on Friday, though I didn't really do much on it. I just approached it from a scalping perspective, guys. Okay, so from this point here, this is the kind of, I think this was what made me go out of the trade. This small, the 4-hour candle here. But then this is what I would be expecting, because there's also, after this kind of little range here, right? And there was this massive 4-hour candle, 4-hour bearish candle, to the downside. So this is what I may likely want to see, that this price may actually head up a little bit, or may face some kind of resistance at this point. So I'm seeing here to be a minor supply zone, right? This area here to be a reference to, right? Now let's see if we can find any other thing on the quickly. Okay, this is the 1-hour chart, guys. Okay, as seen here, guys, this is actually a drop, showing that institutions are getting into the market. So I will be watching this level too, this level as well. And if I find some kind of reaction to the downside from here, some kind of sentiment to the downside, I may be taking my trade off this level. So let's see if we can have this. Okay, so I may want to see something like this. The price, if the price respects that level, right, and then my take profit to this point, right? Okay, then my take profit to this point, right? If I see that kind of reaction on the lower time frame, right, on the 1 hour, if I see this kind of reaction on the 1 hour, right, that the price is reacting to this point, I may set my stop loss here, and then watch the price come down to that level. And then when that happens, guys, at this level, guys, I'll go out of the trade and watch how the price will react to this level. Most likely, I want to see a kind of reaction back into this zone here, to our supply zone here, for further shorting opportunities to actually continue the outer trend of the Australian dollar, US dollar, as we have here. So this is what I can say. The price at this point here, though this was kind of long time ago, but you can confirm a kind of head and shoulder pattern here, and the price actually came down to the upside, and the price actually been doing some kind of nasty things until it got into this zone with this massive rally, right, and gave us and printed this on the daily time frame to the supply zone. So sentimental bias for the Australian dollar, US dollar, guys, is kind of bearish at the moment based on the midterm. because we would like to see further confirmations after the price hits our TP, and then we want to see how the price, and actually if the price gets into this zone again, to look for more shorting opportunities. So our sentimental bias, guys, for all USD for the coming week is bearish. So guys, thank you very much for sticking by. If you actually get value from this analysis, kindly like the content, kindly hit the subscription button so you don't get to miss any updates, as we will share fundamental analysis, top-down analysis, breakdown, demand and supply, and everything we can, and then you get notified and you don't get to miss any of the action. So guys, if you want to love to connect with us, you can decision links, the links is on the comment section, and also in the description box, guys. You can join in our Telegram group, our Facebook community, guys, our growing Facebook community. So guys, we appreciate your love, we appreciate your views, we also appreciate your subscription. So guys, next week let's go take some risks, let's go make some money.